Rangers' answer at closer has been hiding in plain sight. Rangers swingman Jacob Latz may have lost out in his attempt to lock down the fifth starter role, but it hasn't affected the way he has pitched in middle relief to start the season. In fact, the lefty has been so good delivering leads to the bullpen so far that as the Rangers continue to conduct on-the-job interviews for the closer position, he has become what may very well be the best option to finish games for the club. Jacob Junis has slammed the door on the defending AL West champion Seattle Mariners the last two games, but make no mistake, the role is still very much up for grabs as the team has rebounded from a 4-game losing streak to win its last two. While Junis has been good, he doesn't appear to have true closing stuff. Latz, on the other hand, looks poised to be the man if Skip Shoemaker continues to play whack-a-mole with the closer position. Here's a crazy statistic for you. Opponents are 0 for 28 to start the season against Latz. That is the longest hitless streak ever by a Rangers hurler to start a season. In Tuesday's 3-2 win over the Mariners, Latz took over for Nathan Eovaldi to begin the 7th inning and delivered 2 perfect frames to get the game to Junis, who got his second save of the young season. For the season, Latz has a 0 ERA while allowing no hits, 2 walks, and fanning 8 hitters over 9 innings pitched. That is just about as good as it gets, regardless of being a starter, middle reliever, or a closer. The question for Shoemaker and pitching coach Jordan Teagues then becomes whether Latz is too good in being the bridge between starter and closer to be moved to the highest leverage bullpen position. We're going to make the argument that you should use your most effective arm in the most valuable way possible and let the chips fall where they may. This is a call to switch Junis for Latz and make the guy you thought could be good enough to fill out your rotation the most clutch performer to close the door when this impressive starting staff hands over a lead. Robert Garcia and Chris Martin have repeatedly failed to get the job done when their number was called. Junis is a stopgap. Give your best bullpen arm the chance to fill the most vital role. These two electric arms are chomping at the bit to claim a Rangers bullpen spot. While the offense continues to astound people, it's the bullpen that worries a lot of Texas Ranger fans as the season maneuvers into its first full month of the regular season. We've learned a lot about which arms to trust and which causes to worry. Seems early on that reliability in Tyler Alexander, Jalen Beeks, Jacob Junis, and Cole Winn is at an all-time high compared to Robert Garcia and Chris Martin. That means Texas might be forced to make a move. With the injury to Carter, the Rangers have potential options in AAA Round Rock they might soon turn to. So, first off, Josh Boras, the first of which is the now 7-year MLB veteran about to enter his 5th season with the Rangers. Everyone knows and loves Boras for the dominance he showed during the 2023 postseason, which was pivotal to the team's championship run. He does, however, provide some liability concerns. It mostly centers around his injury history, which has not been great over the last few seasons of his career. After undergoing shoulder surgery prior to the 2024 season, the 32-year-old missed the entirety of the 2025 season. At one point late in the year, he was progressing towards a return, but his fastball velocity was down, so he was sidelined for the rest of the year. Texas even went as far as releasing him last November, but eventually signed him to a minor league deal before spring training. A not great spring meant he started the year in AAA, and so far has thrown 4.2 innings with a 1.93 ERA, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and then you have Emiliano Teodo. I think every Rangers fan have been patiently awaiting for Emiliano to turn the corner in the minors and eventually make his big league debut with Texas. It looked possible during the 2025 spring training, but he did not make the opening day roster. That was probably for the best after he struggled with 3 different Texas affiliates. In 27 games, the 25-year-old Dominican Republic native only threw 30 innings with a 7.20 ERA, 38 strikeouts, 29 walks, and a 187 whip. While that was not encouraging, his stuff had some positive results, recording an 11.4 K per 9 innings. The start to 2026 isn't that promising either, with AAA Round Rock with a 9 ERA. However, looking on the bright side, he's only thrown 2 innings, and a small sample size can certainly inflate ERAs. He will still need to improve if he's looking to get to Arlington. So now we're going to take a look at 3 Rangers that fans have completely lost fans' trust 10 games into regular season. The Texas Rangers were lifeless during this weekend's home opening series against the Reds that ended in a sweep and a dip below 500 for the first time in the 2026 regular season. In between the offensive frustrations, the bullpen uncertainties, and the solid performance of the Rangers' trio of starters, everything about this first home series of the year felt off. As easy as it is to say after the fact, these three players were the difference makers from going 0-3 during a series that easily could have gone 2-1 or 3-0. First off, Robert Garcia, left-handed pitcher. Going into the season, Garcia was the frontrunner to be Skip Shoemaker's closer. It's understandable to see why. His stuff is electric, and his potential is there. Plus, the front office decided to ignore the closer issue and give Shoemaker no better options. Garcia appeared in the series finale in the Red Series in the 8th inning with the game tied 1-1. He had a great shot at giving Texas an opportunity to salvage the series. Instead, he only recorded 1 out, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, and 2 walks on 20 pitches. It isn't the first time Garcia has entered a closed scenario and lacked consistency and trust in his stuff. His August 2025 stretch was one of the worst of a reliever. Fans knew having Garcia in late inning situations was going to end poorly. Then we have Chris Martin. The other closer option, the 39-year-old Martin, has been worse than Garcia to start the year. Appearing in 5 games, he's given up 4 earned runs, 9 hits, and batters and hitting .450 against him. He got the ball in a critical moment in Friday's game, tied 3-3 heading into the 9th inning. Martin surrendered a leadoff double to Spencer Steer, which set up a game-winning 2-run homer by Tyler Stevenson. There was a point last season that fans were high on Martin. He had returned to Texas after consistent seasons with Boston, but thanks to a mix of few iffy games and injuries, that confidence quickly faded. Friday's homer might have sealed his distaste among the fan base. Then, Joc Pederson. I do not care if Pederson hit a home run on Sunday to tie the game. It was his first hit of the year. During Joc's tenure with Texas, which began last year, he's hitting .141, with just 10 home runs, 29 runs batted in. The worst of all is that Texas is paying him $37 million to play like the worst baseball player in the big leagues. Yet somehow Shoemaker and the coaching staff still continue to play him, even more so in high-leverage situations. He somehow got the chance to stay in Saturday's game in the 9th inning after Jake Burger drew a walk, putting the tying run at the plate. Pederson promptly grounded into a double play 3 pitches later. We're 10 games into the Rangers season, and they have taken a somewhat unexpected path to a 5-5 record, having gone 4-2 on the road, but just 1-3 at home. There have also been a few slow starts that were not expected based on their spring training success and track records as major leaguers. Both are somewhat concerning as we hit the 2-week mark into the brand new season. Josh Smith is not making fans forget about former Rangers Marcus Semien. Yes, it's still very, very early in the season, but Smith's slow start is concerning for a couple of reasons. First, he was essentially gifted the everyday second base job after Marcus Semien was traded away this past offseason for Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo is doing a fine job making Chris Young and fans believe they got the better end of that deal with his hot start. However, Semien's successor at second base is not as he is off to a woefully slow start at the plate. There were concerns about Smith's ability to be the type of Ironman that Semien was throughout an entire season, as he has had a track record of all-star caliber first halves, followed by second half swoons in both 2024 and 2025. Through the first 10 games, Smith has started the year 3 for 29 with an abysmal slash line 103, 235, or 103. His exit velocity is down, and he's not working counts the way new manager Skip Shoemaker has challenged his players to. It is worth monitoring to see if Smith can get things going, as the Rangers are not married to the idea of him being an automatic start at second, and he is already being pushed down the lineup card. Wyatt Langford is making a habit of this disturbing trend. Another Rangers slugger we didn't see starting so slowly is the franchise's golden child, left fielder Wyatt Langford. For a second straight year, he destroyed opposing pitchers in spring training, mashing 5 homers and hitting well over 400. Still, when the games begin to count in late March and April, his bat goes ice cold and the power goes out. Langford does have 2 doubles and 2 triples, but is just 7 for 44 and has yet to hit a home run. Maybe even more concerning is his 0 walks thus far, which means he is not being as discerning on close pitches and is too eager to make something happen. It has led to him stranding more runners on base than any other Ranger. Langford's track record suggests that he will be much better moving forward, but if he and Smith had gotten off to the starts that most had envisioned, the team would be sitting much better than 500 through 10 games. The Rangers' early season playoff odds show signs of life despite the offensive struggles. Despite an uneven first 2 weeks of the season that included a 4-game losing streak on the way to a 6-5 record, Fangraphs still believes in the Texas Rangers' chances to get back to the postseason. Texas is inside the top 10 teams in the league, and if they can perform a little bit better at the plate, they could end up in the top 5 moving forward. There is an old baseball adage, you're only as good as the next day's starting pitcher, and you have to think the axiom played a part in ranking the Rangers so high as one of only 10 teams over the 50% mark. It certainly isn't based on the feast or famine results from the offense thus far. At 52%, the Rangers are trailing just 9 teams at early season odds, and it has to be based on the fact that they have, except for Nathan Eovaldi's shaky first 2 starts, followed by a quality start against Seattle, had an abundance of good outings from guys like Jacob deGrom, Mackenzie Gore, Jack Leiter, and Kumar Rocker. Fangraphs is surely factoring in return to form for Big Game Nate and continued excellence from deGrom to go along with the Rangers' promising young arms as the reason behind a lofty top 10 ranking. As you might expect, the defending AL West champs, Seattle Mariners, are being given a 73% chance to return to the playoffs after returning the same team that finished with a 90-72 record and was 1 win away from their first World Series berth. But it is the Rangers who are next in line within the division, slightly above the Astros, who are at 48%. It's an encouraging metric even though it is still so early in the season. Anything can happen over the next 5 months, but it shows that statistically speaking, the Rangers are being viewed pretty favorably inside the top third of the league to return to the postseason, particularly after coming up short the past 2 seasons following the World Series title. That is all our topics for today. Let me know your thoughts on everything we covered in the comment section below. And of course, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Game Time. You ever decide last minute, yeah, I want to go to that game tonight, and then immediately regret checking ticket prices? Yeah, same. That's exactly why I use Game Time. Game Time is built for people like us, last-minute planners who still want great seats without getting ripped off. You can score tickets to sports, concerts, comedy shows, even theater, all in a matter of seconds. And the best part, the closer you get to the game time, the better the deals get. I'm talking flash deals, all-in pricing, so there's no surprise at checkout. And this super clean seat view feature, so you actually know what your view is going to look like before you buy. No more guessing, no more partially obstructed view nightmares. And if you're a sports fan, this is a no-brainer. Whether it's the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Cowboys, or your favorite team, you can jump in on the action without planning weeks ahead. Download the Game Time app today, use the link in the description today, and check them out. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. With that, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.